Shalom. I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. And I want to give double honors to the apostles, the great millstone of Yasharallah. And I want to give all salutations to the brothers of GMS.
Today me for to check out the King Superman and this other lady called Cherry Love. They going off with the doctrine and me for to get some clear edification. Now, this is 2 Peter's 3, starting at 3. Knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts. So these people out here, they going off on the doctrine, The king, the super king, man, he got to know that it's only one name. It's not Jesus Christ, it's Yahweh Shai. This is Acts 4:12. Neither is there salvation in any other, for there is none other name under heaven given among men whether we must be saved. There's only one name, and that's Yahweh Shai, not Jesus Christ. Ain't no letter J's in the Hebrew Bible. This is Acts 2:21. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Yahweh shall be saved. So you got to call on Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, Hebrew names. Here go Cherry Love right here. Cherry Love. She came out in Chicago with Post Malone. And it got sliced up by the scriptures. Check out the clip.
You'll see them push any type of agenda in order to try to make themselves look good. In this current agenda, I don't want to be too long-winded, but I'm just going to speak. It's concerning this rape, is concerning what's called the rape doctrine. And actually, it turns out that Cherry Love is in absolute agreement with what Great Millstone is concerning the rape doctrine. When someone poses a question to her about Deuteronomy 22nd chapter and the 28th verse, here Cherry Love comes to the same conclusion that Great Millstone has been pushing this whole time. What they like to do is take a clip from when Apostle Tahar was out there with Polite, and off the cuff, you're out there on the highways and byways, conversations go back and forth, and they try to take a clip and say that we say that you should be out there trying to get with young women, or not even young women, with children. You know what I'm saying? That we're pushing that, and that's absolutely not what we teach, and that's why you see the hundreds, maybe even now thousands of videos of brothers all across the world going into Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, and breaking it down to show what we mean, what the intention was with the scripture, and what it's going to. And here, Cherry Love herself breaks it down. Here, someone named Hassan Shabazz, I don't know if this is a female or a male, but the name is Hassan Shabazz, says, question, chapter 22, verse 28, speaking about Deuteronomy, says he's to pay money to the father. Why does the daughter have to marry her rapist? You know? Though I believe in Torah, why does the daughter have to marry a person that violated her? And the reason why you don't understand this is because you have a westernized mindset. You don't understand that children are a business. You know, children were a critical part of growth in the community, and property and everything that goes along with building your house as a man was very, very strictly lined out and dealt with in the scripture. How you, when you have a daughter, you have your name on your daughter as a father. And for a man to marry her, meaning you're going to basically allow her to have your name on her, it's very costly. And you know, we talk about the duties of family in all types of videos. I won't go into it today. But if you understand the ancient world and how things work, you understand that marriage and how a woman was dealt with from the time of her virginity was very, very strict. Okay, and Cherry Love here goes in on that. This is the reply from Cherry Love. Why? Well, I'm guessing because, you know, this is another thing. This lady would say how uncouth and how articulate and how bad we speak and everything. You ain't nothing but a country bumpkin yourself, man. You don't know how to write good and speak well, and you're not better than anyone. And it comes out on these videos. You're just another Negro in America trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Okay, so when you read this with extremely poor English, but you know, we discern what she's trying to say. It says, well, you got to look at it in those days of a woman was to lose, if a woman was to lose her virginity and outside of marriage, she couldn't get a husband at that time. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of laws, or should I say the culture, was really against women and very strict. Okay? And it wasn't just very strict against women, it was just, this is what it is, there's no gray areas. It says, but you have to look at it on the other hand. If this man raped this woman and she was in a situation and he ran off, she was out there destitute, she was pretty much stranded because no man will marry her, and she couldn't work at the time or in those days. And that's exactly right. That's why this law is there. And this is what Great Millstone has been saying this whole time. The reason why this law was mentioned is because we were telling another Israelite group that, hey, we're not going to be able to follow the laws of the scripture 100%, especially as we've gone through these different captivities. Now we're in the Western world, where this law in particular in Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter and 28th verse, it will not be received very well in this current world. The Apostle Tahar originally brought this law out to say that, look, we're not going to be able to follow the laws 100%. We have to have faith in the Lord. So you guys that are on the outside looking in, and because you guys are ridiculously hypocritical, you're not willing to get down to the root of the matter and to really understand what a person is saying. You want to try to take a 3 to 5 second clip and create a whole narrative to demonize a group of people because you don't like them, because you don't agree. And, you know, all these so-called Christian ways that you guys say you're about, you're not about that. Now here, as I'm reading, Cherry Love is coming to the same very conclusion that Great Millstone has been saying all these years on YouTube. This is exactly what we're saying, Cherry Love. What you're describing right now is exactly what we teach. It is exactly what we're teaching, man. This is the book of Galatians chapter 4, verse 16. It says, am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And, you know, it's a wonder. We go and we talk about these things, and it's just like, is this really that deep? what we're saying going so far over your head that you don't understand? Obviously, what we're saying makes sense because you're describing it now, but you refuse to receive it from us. You know. Now, when you continue to read this comment that she says, but you have to look at it on the other hand. If this man raped this woman, and she was in this situation, and he ran off, she was out there destitute. She was pretty much stranded because no man will marry her, and she couldn't work at that time or in those days. That's right, and that basically will force her into a life of prostitution. And this is what did happen back in the ancient world. And this is why prostitution was somewhat prevalent in Hebrew society, because every woman didn't get married and taken care of. There were some outliers of the situation. And the natural economy soaked those women up. They had to take care of themselves. So they were prostitutes. Grow up. It happened. It's in the Bible. Okay? Grow up. This is all we're saying. Grow up. When you're reading the Bible, it's rated R. The Bible is not a rated PG book. It's a rated R book. MA, for mature audiences only, for the most part. That's what we're saying. We're saying people need to grow up. And Cherry Love, you need to grow up. Continuing on, it says, and women's total dependency back then were totally on the men. So if this guy did not do something like that, he had to be responsible for his actions. He couldn't just walk away. That's exactly what we say. You're not going to just go and just take a woman, rape her, and then leave her in the woods tied up. No, man. You were responsible for your actions. If rape occurred, Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter and the 28th verse, mentions one course of action in a particular situation. And in a lot of different cases, it wasn't just like you just ran up on a girl and raped her. No, that was not normal. We're not saying that's normal. No one said that. And if you do have a GMS member out there saying, yeah, we just gonna rape hoes and do that, he going off, man. He going off. He ain't breaking it down fully. But there's plenty, hundreds, maybe even thousands of examples of Great Millstone teaching Deuteronomy, the 22nd chapter, and the 7th verse. It says, blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Understand first, and then rebuke. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause, neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. And this is what's happening, man. You guys are trying to interrupt in the midst of talking. You don't fully understand. You don't know what we teach. You don't really fully understand what's going on. Right? Was a life. It's because you have a Western mind. Okay, and we've done so many videos on this. Cherry Love actually agrees with the breakdown that we have for Deuteronomy 22 and 28. But then will come and put as a title on her video, GMS, you know you're wrong for your message of rape and domestic violence. Well, right here, in this very comment that she made on this same video, she describes how this law is to protect women in the case of rape. If rape happens, he is to take care of this woman forever. As long as she's doing her wifely duties, of course. But she's to be taken care of. That's what we're saying, bro. That's what we're saying. Scorners like scorner. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 21. Verse 24, it says, proud and haughty scorner is his name, who dealeth in proud wrath.